Just in case you haven't heard, the phase 1 opening did get paused, so we are doing the same exact schedule for this week, for next week. We will not be opening the dojo next week because the state is not letting us. We are just gonna keep punting. Story of the day. Well, actually, to let you know what you need for this workout, hopefully you have something to work out with at home. If not, I would highly recommend, looking for weights. We had recalled a bunch of weights thinking that we were going to reopen next week, but that didn't happen. Anyway, if you have dumbbells, kettlebell, any sort of weighted object would be great for this workout today. Or if you need an elevated surface for your push-ups, go ahead and do that. What do we got? We got our story of the day is about this crow, and this crow is living in a very intense drought and cannot find water, and then one day finds a pitcher full of water, but the crow is trying to stick its neck into this very, very narrow pitcher, and he cannot get his neck in no matter how hard he tries. And so finally he goes and gets some pebbles, and he grabs a pebble and he puts it into the pitcher, and he grabs a pebble and he puts it into the pitcher. Keeps putting in the pebbles into the pitcher, and until the water comes up all the way to the surface and he's able to drink it. And one of the reasons why I love this, this story so much is because we keep talking about these workout snacks that we've been asking people to do, especially people who have had a difficulty trying to just get motivated to do the workouts, to do any sort of physical activity at home, and it's been so difficult during this time, absolutely. But I just love these idea of these little pebbles that just get you closer and closer to your goals. You know, it's not like any huge thing. It's just this tiny little action, this tiny little bit. And as we've talked about before, it's like action leads to motivation. You just don't expect to just be motivated. You have to get that action in to feel the effects of what you're trying to do in order to get the motivation to go for it, you know. So grab those little pebbles, put them in, get that little drink of water. Oh, that drink of water feels really good. It tastes really great, and I feel hydrated. Oh, that's my workout snack, you know. I hope that makes sense in that abstract sort of way. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into our workout. All right, guys, let's get warmed up. We are going to start in this quadruped position. We're going to start with our knee to elbow, out to side, up and back and down. And so what we're doing is we're doing these really nice big hip circles. All right. We're going to go ahead and do 10. Let's do 10 forward, and then we're going to take it back the other way. 9 and 10. Awesome. All right, let's reverse it. Up and back, out to side, to the elbow and down. So I'm trying to make these really nice, big, full movements. 4 and 5. We're going 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's take it to the other side. All right, to the elbow, out to side, up and back and down. Elbow, out to side, up and back and down. Whoo. Feeling the creaks, feeling the cracks, feeling the pops. Just don't feel the pain. You feel any pain? Don't do the warm up, don't do the exercise, all right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to take it the other way. Up and back, out to side, to the elbow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. Guys, while we're here, we're gonna go ahead in our fire hydrants. So we're just gonna lift that leg, keep that hip down. We're just gonna do 5, 3, 4, and 5. Nice. Let's take it to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's go into this tall kneeling position. We're going to grab our wrists, interlock our hands, interlace our fingers. We're just going to go ahead and very gently rotate those wrists in one direction. All right, let's take it back the other way. All right, now I'm going to lay down on the ground. We're going to do our side lying archer. So I'm going to stack those knees. I'm going to bring my hands forward, and then I'm going to drag that hand across the chest, and then I'm going to look behind me, following that hand with my eye, coming back in. All right. This is 2. Making sure to keep those knees stacked. 3. We're going to do 5. 4. Get that nice little stretch at the top. And 5. All right, let's take it to the other side. Okay, knees are stacked. Hand drags across the chest. I follow that hand with my eyes, bringing it back in. Feeling this really nice stretch in that thoracic spine across that chest. 3, 4, and 5. So while we're here, we're going to go ahead and go into our bretzel. So I'm going to grab my bottom leg with my top arm. I'm going to grab my top leg with my bottom arm, and then I'm going to try to reach behind me or look behind me and get that back shoulder as close to the ground as possible as I'm keeping tension on both legs, pulling both legs. I want you to give me 3 big, nice, deep breaths. All right. Now, guys, we're going to switch it to the other side. Going into my bretzel. So I'm grabbing that top leg with my bottom arm, grabbing that bottom leg with my top arm, and then trying to get that shoulder to get as close to the ground as possible as I look towards that back wall. Really keeping active with those legs, really pulling on those legs. You should feel like a really nice quad stretch, especially in that bottom leg. Give me 3 big breaths. All right, guys. Next, we're going to go into our cat-cow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my pelvis. I'm going to start with my tailbone tucking in first, and then really pulling through this thoracic spine, feeling like there's a thread in between my shoulder blades. It's pulling me up to the ceiling. And then I'm going to start with my tailbone first, and then feel each one of those vertebrae stretch as I'm bringing my shoulders up and my hips up. All right. Let's do 5 each way. 3, 4, and 5. Nice. All right. Next, guys, I want to go into my downward and upward dog. So I'm going to widen out those feet. I'm going to come into this A-frame position where my butt's up in the air, and I'm going to pedal those feet, okay? We're going to do about 5 pedals on each side. All right, then I'm going to go into a dive bomber, and then I'm going to come up into this upward dog, keeping those legs still really active, feeling that stretch in that chest, coming back the other way. I'm going to pedal my feet in that downward dog, trying to get my ears next to my biceps. 5 pedals on each side. And then I'm going to go into my dive bomber, up into my upward dog. Breathing into it. In and out. All right, then I'm going to come back. One more time, guys, one more time. All right, coming down and up. Breathing in and out. Coming back. All right. Let's go ahead and stand it up. Next, we're going to come into this really long lunge. Bring those hands next to that foot. We're going to walk it out into this high plank, getting that butt about the same level as your shoulders. Coming back in on the other side and rotating. Coming out, back in, and rotate. Trying to get that really nice, deep lunge when you're here. That really nice plank, keeping those shoulders over those wrists. Let's do one more on each side. Whew. And back in. Ha ha. Nice job. All right. So next what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go through each one of the exercises in our circuit. And for this circuit, we're going to do a 10-minute circuit. So we're going to do high pulls, curtsy lunge, single leg push-ups, side plank with dips, 4-point single leg lift for 10 minutes. Now, we're going to take our time as we're doing each of those exercises, but what I would like for you to do is take the least amount of rest as you possibly can while we're actually doing the circuit itself. As far as our warm-up is concerned, though, we're going to go through each of these exercises. So we have 2 circuits, 2 10-minute time circuits. Each circuit has different exercises, and this will be part of our warm-up. So we're going to go into our high pulls. So grab whatever your weighted object is, whether it's a book or dumbbells or a kettlebell or a burlap sack stuffed with sand, and we are going to go into our high pulls. So that is, my butt comes to that back wall. I'm coming into this RDL, coming up onto those toes, bringing those hips forward as I come into my upright row, all right? Let's go ahead and do 10 of those just to get used to that motion. So really bringing those hips forward as you come up onto those toes, all right? 5. All right, now we're going to keep going with doing 10 of those. I just wanted to say, when you're in this RDL, don't curve that back. Make sure you keep those lats activated. Coming up. And 10. Nice. Now we have a curtsy lunge. I'm going to go ahead and put my weights down for this. And for my curtsy lunge, I'm bringing that foot behind me at about a 45-degree angle, bringing that knee to about 1 inch off the ground, taking a step out. Again, this leg is at about a 45-degree angle. So I come back in. Let's go ahead and do 5 on each side. Keeping that chest upright. I don't want you to bend forward with this. All right. Then we have our single leg push-ups. So if you're doing an elevated surface or you're doing it from the floor, it's the same thing. We're still keeping those elbows in, either tight or at a 45. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have that leg extended up as I come all the way down to my chest and up. All the way down to my chest and up. So we're gonna do 5. On one side. And then we're gonna switch it out. And we're gonna do 5 on the other. So I want you to really keep that glute activated as you come into your push-ups. All right. Then I have my side plank with dips. So now I'm on the floor. I'm going to be in this side plank. My feet are either going to be stacked on top of each other, or if I want to make it a little bit easier, I'll have my one foot in front of the other. Right where my toe is touching that heel is right where it comes up, the medium of my body. So this makes it a little bit easier for me to just stack my feet. So I'm here, and then what I'm going to do is bring my hips down, bring my hips up as high as I possibly can. Now look at my shoulder. My shoulder is right over that elbow. I'm not pushing back. All right? Now, you can have your hand here on your hip. You can have your hand up. You could be holding a dumbbell if you want to make it even harder. Just try to get those hips down and get those hips all the way up. So give me 5 on that side and switch it out to 5 on the other side. Four, really extend those hips up, and 5, nice. Then we have our 4-point single leg lift. So I'm like in this Cossack position, but instead of doing the Cossack stretch, I'm gonna go ahead and just lift that leg, keeping that hip down. So don't lift that hip, keep that hip level, feel this in your glute. Give me 5 on the one side, and then 5 on the other. All right, so those are the exercises in our first circuit. Now, since we're still warming up, we're gonna do all the exercises in the second circuit, just so you get used to them. And so what we're gonna do is partial squats. So for my partial squat, I have my toes pointed out and making some room for my hips to come down. Now, what I want to do with this partial squat is I want to get really deep. So I want to get even deeper than parallel if I possibly can. So I'm coming down as deep as I can, and then I'm coming up to about 80%. So I'm not fully extending up at the top. I'm keeping that constant tension. I'm coming down into that deep, deep squat, and then coming up to about 80%. Down and up. Now this is going to be a burner, all right? So let's go ahead and do 10. 8, 9, and 10. Now, when we're doing the circuit itself, on that last one, what we're going to do is we're going to go into an iso hold to overhead press. So when I'm doing my squats, I might want to go ahead and grab my weight as I'm doing those squats, and then on the last one, I'm going to stay in that deep squat. I'm going to go into this overhead press. So go ahead and give me 5 of those. Now, you want to make it harder, you want to grab 2 weights, great. Not a problem. If you don't have any weights, don't worry about it, grab a book. You're going to get a really nice stretch with those arms anyway, it's going to be fine. And then we're going to go into our bent row. So for my bent row, going into that hinge position, staying in those lats. So guys, I want you to really feel those lats activate, this huge muscle here on the side of your rib cage. I want you to pretend like you have a towel stuck in your armpits so that you're not curving that back. You're keeping that back really flat. Now for these bent rows, I want you to have your hands in this position as opposed to a neutral position. So I want you to have your hands facing behind or towards your body, coming up and back down. So make room Don't hit yourself in the chest or into the abdomen with this. We're in this pronated grip. We're doing 10 of these. 9 and 10. Then I'm going to put my weights down because next I'm going to go onto the floor and do my alt leg V up. So I'm on the ground. Arms are extended overhead, legs are extended. Coming up, I want you to really activate this leg. Get those shoulder blades off the ground. Go ahead and give me 5 on each side. 5. Nice. All right. Then for our last thing, actually I should have stayed on the ground. We're going to be doing our hamstring mobility. So 5 on each side. So what I'm going to do is have my arms and legs up at the same time. I'm going to grab one of my legs and I'm going to lock it out. So I want to feel this lockout in this quad, and I want you to feel this hamstring stretch. Switch it out. Switch it out, keeping those legs really active. Really push that lower back into the ground as you're doing this. All right, 5 on each side. There we go. Nice. So that is all of the exercises in the second circuit. So we're going to grab some water, and we are going to start the timer for our first circuit. We're doing the high pulls. We're doing 5 of those. Then we're going into our curtsy lunges. All right, getting that nice 45-degree angle. Then we're going into our single leg push-ups, 5 on each side. Then we're going into our side plank with dips, 10 of those on each side. And then we have our 4-point hip lifts from the ground, 5 on each side, all right? Trying not to rest. If you need to rest, that's okay. If you're feeling gassed, maybe only give yourself like 30 seconds of rest then, and then you're starting back into it. We're going to see how many rounds we can get in 10 minutes, all right? So that is our first circuit, and we're starting in 3, 2, 1 with high pulls. So I have my RDL, boom, coming up onto those toes, bringing those hips forward, always leading with those elbows in that upright row at the top. We're just doing 5 of these. 5. All right. Then I'm going into my curtsy lunge. Getting that 45-degree angle with stepping that leg behind me. If you want to hold on to your dumbbell, your kettlebell, you totally can if you want to make this a little bit harder. 5 on each side. 5. All right. Then we're going into our single leg push-ups. So again, if you're doing this from the ground or from an elevated surface, just make sure you get that chest to the ground. 5, and then switch out your legs. 4 and 5. Nice. All right, now I have my side planks with hip lift or dips. Shoulder is over elbow, feet are stacked or they're one in front of the other. Bringing that hip down, hip up, down and up. I'm trying to keep a straight line from my feet to my head. 10 on each side. 5. 5. You can have your hand here. 8, 9, and 10. Woo! All right. Taking it to the other side. 1. You might find range of motion is more extreme on one side than the other. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now we have our 4-point single leg lift. Foot is directly out from your hip, and we're lifting. 5 on each side. Feel that glute activate. 5. Take it to the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5. So guys, I'm trying to keep this constant pace with this, all right? So we have about 6.5 minutes left. I'm gonna grab a quick drink of water and then I'm gonna go right back into it. Starting with my 10 high pulls in this RDL, coming up onto those toes. Squeeze those glutes as you bring that pelvis forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to go into my curtsy lunge. I'm going to actually hold on to one of my dumbbells for this. 1, 5 on each side. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. All right. Going into our single leg push-ups. Raise that leg, come down, touch that surface, whether it's the floor, whether it's your couch with your chest. 4, 5. Nice. Switching out to the other side. Feel that glute activated. 3, 4, 5. All right, got our side plank with dips. I'm doing push-ups today because my shoulder's feeling better. Reba's helping me rehab that shoulder. Thank you, Reba. 3, 10 on each side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. 9, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 10, get that hip up as high as you can. I'm definitely noticing I'm getting a better height on one side than the other. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. All right. Then going into my 4-point leg lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Glutes are feeling it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice job, guys. All right, we got about 3 minutes left. We're averaging about 3 minutes a circuit. 3 minutes a set. I'm gonna go right back into it with those high pulls. So Getting into that RDL before I start. Really coming up on those toes. Squeezing those glutes at the top. Getting that really strong leg with this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Going into that curtsy lunge. Five on each side. That was 2. This is 3. 4. And 5. Nice. Single leg push-ups. Get to feel like a superhero with these. 2, 3, 4, 5. Switching it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Side plank with dips. Oh my goodness. Get that body in line. Oops, wrong way. Doing starfishes. 2. So many leg lifts. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switching out the other side. Oops, falling over. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Going into those leg lifts. You got this. Got about 15 seconds left. We're just going to go ahead and finish it out. 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice job, guys. So what we're going to do next is you're going to rest for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to go into our next circuit. But what I'm going to do is while you're resting is demo that next circuit just to get you refamiliarized with what we're doing on that. So we have our partial squats. Yay. So making room for those hips, toes are pointed out, squeezing those glutes at the top, coming down into a deep squat, only coming up about 80%, coming back down. We're doing that 10 times. On the 10th one, you might want to have a weight to start with when you're doing this. On the 10th one, you're going to go into that iso hold with squat to overhead press. All right? And then we have our bent rows. So narrowing up those feet, going into that hinge position. Oh, sorry, I'm in that pronated grip. And I'm bringing those weights back to my hips as I'm squeezing those shoulder blades really hard together at the top, getting that full extension with that arm, feeling my hamstrings activate. Then I have my alt leg V up. So on the ground, arms and legs are extended, coming up. Really activating this straight leg that's coming up and getting those shoulder blades off the ground as you're reaching towards your shoelaces, okay? So that's the alt leg V up. And then I have my hamstring mobilities. So I'm here, both arms and legs are up at the same time. I'm going to lock out my one leg as the other leg extends down to the floor. Come back up. Lock out that other leg. Bring that other leg down to the floor. Really feel this quad lock out so you get that really nice hamstring stretch with this, okay? And that is our B circuit, all right? So I'm gonna get a little bit more water. Guys, you can see with this circuit, it's not a fast speed circuit. We're being slow and controlled. We're really, really taking our time with these exercises, and we're trying to go as much as we can through this 10 minutes without taking a rest, all right? So, I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer. We're gonna start with those 10 partial squats. 3, 2, 1, go. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my weight. I'm gonna go into my partial squat. Up about 80%, down low. That's how we grow. 3, 4, 5, 6, woo, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here, go into your 5 overhead press. 3, 4, 5. Nice. Now I have my bent rows. Hinge position, pronated grip. Don't hit yourself in the chest. Make room for your chest as you bring those shoulder blades together at the top. 10 of those. 8, 9, 10. Nice. All right. Got our alt leg V-ups. Woo, 5 on each side. 1. This is 2. Getting those shoulder blades off the ground. Locking out that leg. 3. This is 4. This is 5. Nice. Going into those hip mobilities. This is almost like a nice little rest before we go back into it. Take your time with this. Lock out that leg. Feel that hamstring stretch. 5 on each side. All right. Now we start again. I'm gonna grab a little water just for a mini rest. And then we get to do those partial squats. Wow, thanks, Coach Josh. All right, so I'm coming down low, coming up, not all the way, keeping that tension in those legs. 3. Now with this, guys, I'm not bending over with this. I'm trying to stay as upright as I possibly can. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 5. Overhead press. 3, 4, 5. Nice. Going into that bent row. Pronated grip. 10 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Alt leg V up. 5 on each side. Nice. Woo, what am I doing? Here we go. Locking out that leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Lying hamstring mobility. Lock out that leg, really reach this other leg. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Nice. All right, guys. We got about 5 minutes left. All right. Making through this circuit a little bit faster. And then the last circuit. Okay. Grabbing my weight. Going into my partial squats. Partial. All right. Deep. And then just about up to here. Keeping that tension. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Woo! And 10. Down and press. 3. 4. 5. Nice. Wow, what a burner. All right, bent rows, pronated grip. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Alt leg V-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then my lying hamstring mobility. Lock out that leg. Push that lower back into the ground. 2. This is 3. 4. 5. Nice. Guys, we got about 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. Gonna grab a quick drink of water. All right, going back into those partial squats. Can't wait. Get from, not through. Here we go. Get lower than parallel if you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, down and press. 2, 3, 4, 5. What the what? Woo! Do the thing. We got this, guys. Bent rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Trying to keep that neutral spine with that head. All right? Try not to look up. I'm looking up at you sometimes, but try to keep that neutral spine. So I'm looking about 45-degree angle in front of me when I'm doing those bent rows. Coming into my alt leg V-ups. Shoulder blades off the ground. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. Right into my hamstring mobility. Don't throw these away, guys. These are so good for your legs. Getting that quad activated as you're really lengthening that hamstring. 4. And 5. Woo! 22 seconds left. See how far we can get. Why not? Here, into my partial squat. Deep. 3, 4, 5. Ah, that was good enough. I mean, that was great. We did our due diligence. We did our 10 minutes. Turning that off. All right, guys. Let's grab some water. We're going to go into our homework. All right. So let's start with our knee grabs. Hands in tight to the chest. Throwing those arms forward, grabbing those shins, getting those feet flat on the ground at the top, coming back down. Shoulders over the hips at the top. 10 of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. All right, then we have our T-spine push-ups. So, widening out those feet, coming into that push-up, and rotate. Really open up that chest. This is our second one. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ha! All right. Then we have our squats with hamstring bias. Pointing those toes out, coming down into that deep squat, grabbing those toes, rotating, rotating, straightening out those legs as you grab those toes and bringing your chin to your chest. Come back down. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. And this is 5. Guys, that was intense. Very proud of all of you. That was awesome. Those partial squats were something. Again, reminding you of the story of the day. Putting in those little pebbles until you get that water to rise to drink from it, you know. You guys are doing awesome. If you're watching this video, you are doing the thing. You're trying to get those workouts in. On days that you don't feel motivated, just grab those little pebbles. Just do those little workout snacks. Maybe you're just doing jumping jacks. Maybe you're just doing some mobility. That's okay. Just move. You know, movement is so important. Anyway, guys, we're here to help you bring forth the warrior within. Again, we have been paused for next week's classes, so we're going to stick with this entire schedule the same for next week, and we'll keep giving you more updates as we hear them. It was so funny too, because I went and I got takeout last night from one of my favorite restaurants, and they were like, "We're getting all ready. We're ready to open tomorrow." And it's like, oh God, everybody's in the same boat of just this constant anticipation, you know. But I guess that's what this has prepared us for so far, is not knowing what's going to happen at any given moment. You know? So there is that. Yes. All right.